Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Xingyi. We have Xingyi's 12 Animals, and today we are working on refining the series that we've been working on this week. And we're going to get ready for the last couple of classes in this series coming up this month. Beginning in July, I'm going to transition from Xingyi in this class to Bagua. So, new series, new moves, some things that are similar, some things that are almost the same, and some things that are not the same at all. Alright, that is coming up in July. I will be continuing Wudang on Thursday and Friday for the near term. I'm not making any changes to that right now. Well, I'll look at it later, but not right now. I'm also looking at doing something else, and I'm not 100% sure what that is. The reason that I mention it is because for those of you who are following me, trying to follow classes and things, part of what I'm thinking about is to expand so that there's more opportunity to come to class. For instance, if I had a live stream that was later in the morning, if I had something else, yeah, there's several options that I'm looking at, and I'm pretty well convinced that there's going to be something that I'm going to come up with. So just let you know, there's more that I'm looking at. There's a couple other things that I'm playing with as well, and I'm not sure, but I want to do something with that too. So lots of things that I'm looking at, some new things coming up. I also going to mention that in addition to Bagua, the two arts that I haven't taught yet, Wudang Dragon Sword and Wudang Tai Yi. This is not Tai Chi, not Tai Chi. Tai Chi Chuan 不是 Tai Chi Chuan, 是 Tai Yi Chuan. It's different. It requires a lot of directional changes, so if you manage Bagua, you can probably manage this one. Dragon Sword, 龙化剑, the dragon becomes a sword, or the sword becomes a dragon, your choice of how you want to interpret that. The idea behind it is that it's a dragon and the sword moves. The same as, very similar to, the kinds of things that we do in Xingyi for dragon. The kind of movement, what does a dragon do, right? The same as someone who's learning Eagle Claw pays attention to what an eagle does, right? That concept follows behind. So just let you know, this is what's coming up. It's probably going to be, give or take, over the next year. These things take a while. Bagua is going to be 12 weeks, maybe 16. Okay? 2 weeks per palm change. Not sure about that yet. For the first few changes, yeah, it might be a little over much. For the last 4, it won't be. It'll take a little bit of work. As we progress through all of this, as I progress through all of this, and if you're following along, you're progressing with me, I'm going to also be introducing a little bit more of the philosophy and that idea of how we practice and how we develop our practice, so that not only are there things to do, there are things to pay attention to as you practice, so that it's not, oh my gosh, I didn't remember what she gave. What was that move again? You don't have to think about it that way. You can think about it, all right, I'm here, and I need to get to something else. How can I remember more easily what that something else is? And how can I use the art, the principles that go behind the art, how can I use those principles? Footwork, hand position, body position, what are we doing? How can I use those principles to figure out what's next? We're going to work on that a little bit this morning. This idea of refining practice, introduction to the movement. We do some analysis. We did that yesterday. What are we doing? What's going on? And refine that a little bit with some of the ideas behind, and we're gonna work a little bit more on the physical stuff. Feet about shoulder width apart, bend the knees, wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, open the arms, pull up through the crown of the head, shoulders down, keep the chest down, pull in through the abs, and circle to the front, back around to both sides, up along the center line, pull up from underneath through the base of the torso, support the hip, even as you pull up from underneath the ribs, to pull the hips up and open the hip. Let me say that a little bit differently. Pull the hips up and open the space between the leg and the hip. Fingertips reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. Santi Boule, 30 seconds this morning. Right foot back, left foot front. Ready? Check your posture. Check your foot position. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Sink. Step back. Other side. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Sink and come on up. All right. We have a series that we've been working on all week. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to step through this. We've been working on this all week. We do a little bit more of this analysis, what's going on in the movement, and how do we pay attention to what we're doing and what's going on all together, all at the same time. This isn't nearly as esoteric as it sounds. It's okay. Part of the skill is knowing where you are physically in space, knowing what your body is doing. That comes through practice and repetition. Part of it is understanding what you're doing. Okay? And I'm going to show that in just a minute. Understanding what you're doing. And then applying that knowledge, that understanding to your practice. So that as you're practicing, you're also asking all of these questions. And yeah, okay, did I do this? What about this? Did I check? This is on my checklist. Am I correct? Right? There is a part of practice that we look at all of that as a holistic thing. It's not one by one on the list. It's this. Is this correct? And this is a whole bunch of little things that we're looking for in what we should be doing, what we might be doing, what we could be doing, and what we're actually doing in whatever the movement is that we're practicing, right? Let me show you this. And I show this repeatedly, so the idea that we have, particularly in Xingyi, and I'm just going to show this for a second. The idea that we have in Xingyi is that behind what we're doing, there is the animal form, the part of whatever it is that we're doing that is named for whatever animal it is. So we start out this series here with dragon and tiger joined together. Okay. As we turn, we change through that turn. There is that flight, being in flight, so the lotus flower in the turn. There is a landing. I'm getting ready for this. Monkey. There is the opening. As I step out, P1. And the golden pheasant stands on one leg before I step back. Each of these carries the nature of what we're doing behind it. I talked about this yesterday in the use of the force as we're moving, so as we sink down, that we can use that to come up, we can use that for the turn, both here as we come up and here as we turn. That down and spin, being able to coordinate that well through the physical movement, right? What am I doing in the physical movement? Where do my hands and feet need to go? Where does my body need to go? Where does my hip need to be? Where does my shoulder need to be? Where does my head need to be? What am I supposed to do with my feet? All of those in good alignment. Then we can use that force. Sink. Just do this with me. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stick your, I've got my right hand up. Put your left hand at the lower dantian. Right hand out. We're going to push down. Just whole body push down. And then we're going to turn and open the hand to the outside. That's all. Just push down. Turn and open. Do it again. Right hand is here. Just straight out. Push down. Turn the waist and open. Again, push down. Turn the waist and open. Now, push, keep that movement in mind, same movement. Don't think about pushing out, think about turning the waist. Push down, turn the waist. Again, push down, turn the waist. As you turn the waist, straighten the knees. One more time. Push down and turn. That is the energy. This idea out here with the hand, put that in the center and use that. Yeah. All right, so as we're moving through, do this with me slowly. Right foot back, left foot front. Ready the right hand. Step left, punch right. Right, left, punch right. Sink, walk around. Step forward, come up, and step back. All right. That effort, we're going to do this again. One more time. Exactly the same what we just did. Left foot front, right foot back. Step left, punch right. Right, left, right, down, turn, step forward, come up, and step back. All right. Same series. Little bit faster. Not too fast. But this is slow. So we want to move this to more normal. Right? Right foot back, left foot front. Ready? Step, 2, 3, and turn down, up, and come back. Yeah, it's faster. It is. Do it again. Ready? Left foot front, right foot back. Left hand is front out here, right hand over here is ready. Step. Step up. All right, relax. You will notice there's 2 places in what I just did where I did a double step. Okay, I was going and I kept going. All right. Watch one time. I'm here. Right there. As I come around here, that second step, I'm still going in that direction. Stopping was not really a good option for me. Okay? My body's going. I'm going. I need to take my feet with me. This idea, as I come, let me do this one more time. And I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Just a little. Okay? That difference, whether I'm going to step, whether I'm not going to step. When I think about, this is me, when I think about moving at speed, I I'm thinking of covering. I'm going. I'm not waiting. No, I'm not. No. I'm not standing. I'm going. All right, and that energy, which is exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about this morning, bringing that energy up, taking it with, knowing that I'm still going, that I've already moved beyond where my foot is. I'm already there. I can fall down, or I can move my foot. I'm going to move my foot. That sense of where the body is in space and what I'm able to do with the dynamic of the movement makes all the difference for me in what I might be able to do with the movement. Oh, application has what? What is this application? What is that application? Understanding that is only this part. What can I do with this application? Oh, different question entirely. All right? If I am 5'9", lean 220, in my early 30s, and male, there are so many things that I could do that I can't do, right? Early 30s, lean, he can do a bunch of things I can't do. I can do some things that he can't do, but I have to recognize that to understand, all right, what is this and what can I do with it? Okay, so first part, what is this and what can I do with it? All right? In Xingyi, a lot of that is obvious. Left foot front, right foot back, ready the right fist, and step in, Bung Chuan. Yeah, was there any question about what I was doing? Probably not. I did not. I'm on this side, I'm going to go face the other way, right? Ready? And is there any question? There's not much question. What am I doing? Okay? How I do it, what I bring to that move, what's behind it, and the element, Bung Chuan, earth, Hung Chuan, earth, wood. The element behind what is Bung Chuan, I've been through this in the 5 elements, as I step through. In this case, the animal, Xingyi 12 Animals, is the connection between dragon and tiger. Dragon, tiger, right? That combination of the two blends in this move. Either way, even if you're not thinking about the nature of the move so much as what am I doing, not a lot of question about this. This one too, not a lot of question. It's heel, right? And depending on your leg height, it could be here, it could be here, and it could be there. Your choice. Leg usually doesn't go above the waist. It could. It doesn't. You might. You open yourself to opportunities, or you open yourself. If your leg goes above your waist, you're giving your opponent opportunities. You're opening up some opportunities that you might not want to give to your opponent. Okay? So we generally keep legs below the waist. All right? I'm not going to try and hit you with my foot to the chin. I might be able to, but I'm probably not going to try that. I'd be more likely to look at your ankle or your knee, maybe your hip, maybe groin. Opportunities, right? There's opportunities here. Which one am I looking at? What am I doing here? Right? Again, not a lot of question about what I'm doing in these moves. What my target is, opportunities. But there's not the same what am I going to say? Bagua has some hidden things. We even talk about Bagua hiding flowers under the arm. Flowers. Hi. All right. These are flowers. That idea, Xingyi doesn't really have that same kind of concept. Xingyi has a, here am I going. Here I'm going. Let's go. And that nature is part of how we move. Here I go. As I set, keep going. So, not much question here, right? As I set the kicking foot down, so right foot, set this down, turn to the right before you turn to the left. Twist. So both hands open and come down. As you sink down, this idea hello. Oops. Right? And again, this is, I talked about this just a minute ago, this idea that what can I do versus what might be there in the move. This is here in the move. It's very straightforward. We know what this is. I just put my foot down, right? As I turn here, shift and sink, turn to the outside first, and then come back. Dragon. That. I'm here. The two opportunities here, and more than one, multiples. As I set here, this is going to turn, go this way. So I have an opponent that grabs my arm, I'm to the outside, hey, keep going, right? This turn, as I come back, right? Here, turn, comes from the other direction to pull down. Twist. twist, twist, twist. This comes out, this comes around, pull down, twist. As you sink, the idea that you're going to come down, sink, and then come up as you turn and sink again on that supporting leg. Turn through the hip, shoulder, set the foot. Make sure that as you turn, you bring your hip around with your foot. That's the only way your foot gets to the correct position. Pull up through the center as you sink into your landing foot. Remember, there's a jump here, right? Sink here. The right foot comes to meet on the ball of the foot, not flat, or here. Enough weight that you feel it, 10, 20% maybe. Not too much. Most of it's on the left because we're going to step forward in just a second. So from here, step forward, close, up, and step back. So I'm almost returning, depending on how far I go forward, right? If I'm moving along or I'm more static, the return is almost to where I was when I started that set. So here, excuse me, here, step up, up, step back, right? That regularity in the step makes a difference in how we cover ground. It also makes a difference in, excuse me, in how we are able to control what we're doing through the form and how we repeat what we're doing. This idea, I talked about this at the very beginning. How do we figure out what's next? How do we figure out where am I? What am I doing? And what might be next? Okay, part of that we have to know. It just comes with, you have to know it. Part of it the form will give us. If I'm here, right? I'm ready for this. If I'm in this position, my next move, this hand is probably going to come out, right? This is back. It's going to come to the front. This one's front. It's going to go somewhere else. Where else is it going to go? Where else might it go? From here. Could. In this case, it doesn't. In this case, I'm here. Step. And down. Right? That option. What am I going to do next? From Bong Chuan, I can also turn around. Right? There are multiple opportunities for what I can do next. Knowing what those are, being centered so that you can manage the change from one to the next. And knowing how to get there, right? If I don't pay attention here to this sinking, I'm not going to get up in the air. You try this with me. You try this with me. Right? Just do Bong Chuan. I'm just talking about this. Bong Chuan. Right here. Right foot front. Right hand front. and we're going to turn just to the outside just a little bit and then shift and turn to the inside. As we do this, just turn the waist, don't sink. Don't, maybe bend the knees a little bit, but don't try and sink down. Just stay up. Seriously. And turn, jump. Do it again. And turn, jump. Get up off the ground from there. Yeah, try again. This time sink. Ready? And turn, sink, and jump. Ho! We have this energy, sink, as you land, drop into the leg. Let me go back to the beginning for a second here. Right here. So I'm going to turn and not do anything, and I can't. There's no down to go up, right? I'm here. Turn a little bit. Turn again. Sink. That ability, the ability to go up depends on the ability to go down. You have to sink in order to go up. At physics. All right. As you turn, and I talked about this yesterday as well, pay attention to what direction you want to end up. We'll go this way, right? If I start, I start here. As I sink, I'm going to think I need to go that way, right? I'm not thinking turn all the way around. I'm going to go that way. As I come around, my head comes first, and I look at where I want to end up. In dance, we call it spotting. Okay. So as I'm getting ready to turn, focus here. As I, let me do this way. Yeah, let me go this way because this is where we're going. All right, as I'm getting ready, look here. As I turn, I'm going to walk through this. I'm here. Notice that my head spun before my body did. We want to do that. We do want to do that. That's what keeps you from getting dizzy when you spin. Finding that spot, coming back to it every time. It's not easy. I'm not all that great at it, but we do pay a lot of attention to what I am doing in the form. So as I come around, right, here, I have this idea as this went this way and this went this way, and now there's something else that I need to pay attention to here. Bye. Hello. Several opportunities, right? As I come around for what might be something to pay attention to. I need to understand that getting from here to here is not empty. Empty. Not empty. Hello. Not empty. The best way that I've found to think about this is not so much with this particular application, this particular thing, or this particular, depending on what you're doing, okay? There's normally a range of opportunities, there's a range of targets, there are things that will present themselves that you can't anticipate. Knowing what you might be able to do gives you the reaction skills and the timing to respond. You're not, wait a minute, let me think about, let's see, what would be the best counter for this? Yeah, no, you're too late. It's not happening. That time is practice. What might happen, what could this, what could that, how I move into whatever it is. What can I do? What does this move do? What can I do, right? So, I'm going to show that for just a second here. Right here, I'm here. If I punch, right, this, right here. If I punch, you will feel it. Depending on who you are, your size, your training, you may feel it more or less. You will feel it. Is that an effective move for me? Depends on who you are. My opponent. Who is my opponent? What am I doing? What do I need to do? Is that effective? Maybe, maybe not. But reasonably it is, yes. I'm pretty good with that right fist. All right, so the idea behind, if my foot placement isn't good here, then I can't move the energy through the fist. And in that case, no, it's not going to be that effective. Again, depending on who you are, my opponent, right? Turn here. That may be more this than turn here. Someone who is less balanced, I'm not going to say stronger because you can be stronger than me and still be not balanced. Someone who is less balanced, if I do this, there is an opportunity that they're going to be on the ground. Not necessary, but there is an opportunity that that could happen. That would be my intent. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe that person is much larger and stronger than me, so this is not going to happen. Recognizing that, I'm not going to be able to use this for this person. What else might I do? I could pull back. Several opportunities that are not the same depending on what I have to address. being able to easily, without hesitation, make that transition is part of understanding the art. How does this art move? What do I do? Right? What are the kinds of movements that I do? What are the kinds of movements that I do? I'm going to turn that around, go to the other side here. What are the kinds of things that I'm doing in these moves? What? Just one more time. Don't do this. Don't. Go this way? No. 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 Oh, my error message is back. Oh, great. Why not? Well, part of it, you saw me doing some lyrical kinds of things. I'm tilting my head. I'm doing some things that are not well placed, not well coordinated, and that do not conform to the principles that we have for Xingyi. Prompt, sudden, complete, full. Everything moves all together all at the same time. There's no la-di-da-di-da. There's none of that. Tai Chi has that. We have that in Tai Chi. We have that lyrical sense of flowing motion, and we want that in Tai Chi. We don't want that in Xingyi. Xingyi, Okay? So the tilting of the head, the changes in the body, this is some dance interpretation that does not belong in this art. Okay? No. The reason that I did it, and it was a dance interpretation of what Xingyi is to show what not to do. Okay? Things that we want to pay attention to. All right? This I'm gonna slow it down, and I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna do the jump. I'll walk and we'll go through it. Okay. So a little bit slower, but still at speed. Pay attention to the dynamic and the connection between the moves. Follow the pattern. Look for the circles. Look for the changes in the pattern. One more time, go this way. Down, out. Ouch! It hurt. You didn't want to grab that hand. You didn't want to grab that hand. You wanted to grab that hand, did you? No, you didn't. You didn't. Turn the waist. As we pay attention to this idea behind, as we pay attention to what goes on within the movement, we also are paying attention, and I'm going to slow this way down, I'm going to exaggerate, use my hands with this, and we're going forward and forward and forward and down and turn, step through, up and down. All right, I exaggerated that intentionally. That pattern bring it in. That same pattern I just did all those moves right here. Bring it inside. Pay attention to how the lower dantian works. Mid back, lower back, hips, legs and hips spaced, so you got room to move the hips and you got room to move the legs. Paying attention to that centering so that as you're moving, you stay well centered over your legs. And as I paid attention to and I called out earlier, this double step, I'm going to do it again. Right there. After P, I take a step forward as I pull back. Here, right foot comes forward to bring the left up. I'm going. I'm going to cover that distance. Stopping over that foot is a good thing. Continuing on is fine. Being well placed and well balanced, as well as being able to extend through that move, is what's required. All right. This is I'm going to say the second to the last of this series, right? So next week we have monkey. Holds up. Right? I don't do monkey all that well, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then we have the final series in this set to close the form. So 2 more weeks. We'll have a week. I got to go look at the calendar again. This is the first week of June. If we got 4 weeks, we'll have 1 week. If we got 5 weeks, we'll have a couple more days. Alright? So, through June, we have Xingyi. I'll be reviewing, once we finish, I'll be reviewing what we've covered, and I'll be working on some additional materials so that there'll be some other stuff that I've been promising available. All right, as I transition at the beginning of July, this will become Baguazhang, 8 Gua, 8 directions palm, and Thursday and Friday will remain the same Qigong. As we move through that, I'm looking at 2 things. I mentioned this at the beginning. Wudang Tai, not Tai Chi, Tai. It's different. As well as Dragon Sword. Those are the 2 remaining that I expect to cover, and I'm looking at which one's coming next. they will both be on the list. I will also be looking at what we might do with the Qigong series, as well as some additional materials and maybe some additional classes in Qigong practice. Come back to the 5 elements in Xingyi for foundation work, as well as some classes in philosophy and discussion of the classics and what we keep from how we learn and what we learn as we develop our skills. So as I was beginning, one of the things that I experienced was practicing outside. I was at the park, I was at the beach, I was outside. That experience is different than, and I carry that with me, a person who's started learning inside. You're at an indoor location viewing these tapes, right? Viewing these, not tapes anymore, viewing these recordings, right? You're at, maybe you started before COVID in a school, and that's where your first memories of what you practiced come from. Keep that. It helps with both remembering your own practice as well as remembering what you did to accomplish what you've already accomplished or what you're trying to work on now. And save that away for the future, because it's joyful to come back to. It is. I appreciate y'all being here today. I know that I talked a lot. There's a lot behind what we're doing that I needed to talk about. Again, changes in schedule beginning in July. I hope you'll join me. Thank you.